My name is Jared Rex, and I'm the Curator of Music here at Boston Public Library in Special Collections.
2024 is a big celebratory year for the conductor Serge Koussevitzky. He was the music director of the Boston Symphony, and this year we are celebrating the 150th anniversary of his birth, and it's 100 years since he came to Boston to become the music director of the Boston Symphony. Since the early 1880s, when the Boston Symphony was formed, the Boston Public Library has been invested in recording and documenting its history. I'm standing in front of a display from items from our Koussevitzky collection here at the Boston Public Library that will be up through March 2025. These photos behind me are so interesting because they show Koussevitzky's facial expressions as he's conducting the Boston Symphony Orchestra. They were captured in concert, and this is a view that only the musicians would have seen from the stage, not the audience. So one of my favorite series of items in the collection are the musical scores that belong to Koussevitzky that he marked. You can see what Koussevitzky likes, what he doesn't like. You can look sort of into his musical tastes. Koussevitzky has a strong legacy of promoting young talent, including Leonard Bernstein, but also soprano Dorothy Maynard, who goes on to be the first African-American woman to sing at a presidential inauguration. Probably one of the best known pieces in the collection is Peter and the Wolf by Prokofiev. Here is a manuscript score that we think was used for the American premiere with Koussevitzky's annotations. And beside it, you have a children's book, Peter and the Wolf, with illustrations that Koussevitzky wrote the preface for. So side by side, you have music and then an actual accompanying illustration to depict what's going on in the story. So to tell the story from the stage, Peter and the Wolf features a spoken narrator part. And over the years, many people came to the BSO to narrate, including Eleanor Roosevelt. So Koussevitzky's contributions to American music were so many that 10 years into his music directorship, he receives the citation behind me that is signed by all of the most illustrious composers of his day, including George Gershwin. Probably the best part of the story of Koussevitzky is how much he loved his dogs. And one of his dogs, Bima in particular, he actually composed a musical whistle that he would whistle and Bima would come. And it was so popular that one of his students, Leonard Bernstein, actually composed an entire piece called Fanfare for Bima, based on the musical whistle that Koussevitzky used to call the dog. In preparation for this big anniversary, I'm so pleased that we were able to digitize over 100 annotated scores from the collection, as well as catalog approximately 550 scores in our online catalog, making them searchable and accessible for the first time on the internet. In celebration of 150 years of Koussevitzky's birth, the Associates of Boston Public Library have partnered with the Boston Symphony and the Boston Public Library to bring to us a series of 3 free programs featuring guest lectures and musicians from the Boston Symphony that will be playing chamber works from composers associated with Koussevitzky to help this figure come to life. Out of all of the conductors of the 20th century that we remember, Koussevitzky appears to have been neglected, even though all of the institutions that he started actually outlive him and are the reason why we remember him today. So it is my hope that through this display and through our programming that we will bring life again to Koussevitzky's contributions to classical music in the United States.